Coming up on CityView, some city officials talk trash. We'll have the latest effort to keep Austin beautiful. Core lessons, how AustinCorps is teaching teens about city issues. And police partnerships, how National Night Out helps neighbors take a stand against crime. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Renee Tejas. Those stories and more coming up, but first, it's the Mopac to 290 Direct Connect. As part of a regional partnership, the City of Austin, together with the Texas Department of Transportation and state officials, recently announced the construction start of 2 incomplete flyover bridges at Loop 1, which is commonly referred to as Mopac, and US 290. Representatives from the partner agencies recently attended a groundbreaking ceremony for the project.
First, on behalf of the City of Austin, I want to thank Senator Watson and Chairwoman DeLisi for their commitment to work with the city to get Austin moving. This ramp to nowhere behind me is a grim reminder that transportation dollars now are scarce, and that only by working together with a regional vision will we achieve much needed mobility improvements. It's just a great innovative solution to this problem. 2 intersections are actually working on 290. One is here at Mopac and the other at I-35. The benefit to relieving traffic congestion will be huge.
As the mayor indicated, we are breaking ground on the interchange completion project. Soon the residents of Southwest Austin will be able to connect directly from South Mopac to Ben White without clogging the frontage roads.
What this project really does is take people out of the service roads that are currently going through a number of very congested signals right now because there is no other alternative. And so what these ramps will do is help people out of those congested intersections and get them into the Mopac corridor much more directly.
The connection is sure to make travel easier for many commuters. And the question if it's too easy for commercial use of our area parks, like say for classes for a boot camp that take over a portion of the city parks for a given period of time, was recently addressed by the Parks and Recreation Department. They invited the public to a community input meeting to give feedback on proposed rules for the permitting process and commercial use of parklands. The process will hopefully help the city manage use or overuse of parkland, and it may include a usage fee.
The purpose of this meeting really is to get your feedback, your comments, your suggestions, pro and con, to the program that has been proposed. We will walk.
In the last few years, there's been an increase in the number of commercial users on public parkland. Fitness groups, boot camps, dog trainers, yoga instructors, and there's been interest by new concessions to do events, athletic activities on Town Lake. So what we've done is we're trying to address by creating a process that would help us identify who is using park property for commercial uses, when they're using it, and just to make sure that the use is compatible with the existing parks.
You know, over the past 3 years, our fitness community has become a true representation of what health and wellness means. Tonight, I'm here to give a voice to the issue, the proposal for the Parks and Rec Department wanting to implement certain fees and fitness zones for trainers and fitness professionals. Personally, I know that with the growth that the city has had with different fitness businesses, there is change upon us.
We have a fee mechanism that's been approved by council that we're using as part of this permitting process. Whether or not that is appropriate, we're in the process of determining that, and that's one of the goals that we're going to try to reach this evening, is to determine what a reasonable fee is.
The public wants and likes outdoor fitness groups, and that is the reason for their current success.
Tonight's meeting is important because it's a time for professional trainers, it's a time for park patrons, for citizens to come together and discuss these important issues.
We want to make sure we're managing our resources effectively, that we have users that aren't damaging park property inappropriately, that we're protecting the park against unnecessary wear and tear, and more importantly, balancing the needs of the public that may want to go and enjoy the park without having to compete with any space by commercial users.
I feel that we have to work together to speak out, to work with the city, as we're the ones in the parks, we're the ones doing the work with the community, and I want to make sure that our voice is heard on how to work hand in hand on developing a proposal so we can promote growth, we can educate the community, and we can coexist.
And now it's time for a City Council update with Larry Schooler.
Some city property downtown is getting an extreme makeover. The Austin City Council authorized the city manager to sign a master development agreement for the Austin Energy Control Center at 3rd Street and West Avenue. The agreement calls for the city to sell the developers the property for $14.5 million, leading to a mixed-use project that includes, among other things, art in public places, local retailers, and the extension of Shoal Creek Trail between West Avenue and 5th Street. Council also awarded a contract to a Philadelphia firm to study the costs of services in the Planning and Development Review Department. The firm will review fees for development review, permitting review, and building inspections. Council also approved the acceptance of grants from the federal government for use at Austin-Bergstrom International Airport. The grants would fund terminal area improvements, noise mitigation, airfield improvements, and security-related projects. The city could receive up to $30 million in federal grants during the fiscal year. And Council agreed to co-sponsor the Austin Trailer Food Festival on Saturday, November 6th at Auditorium Shores. The Council believes the street food scene is exploding in cities across the United States, and Austin is on the leading edge with literally hundreds of mobile eateries serving up highly creative cuisine. The festival will be free and open to the public. In all, Council considered 58 items at its October 14th meeting. Its next regularly scheduled meeting is October 28th. For CityView, I'm Larry Schooler.
Ever notice how after a storm our creeks and rivers look trashed? The smell of a refreshing rain can be thwarted all because the rainwater washes litter down our streets and storm drains and into our creeks and eventually our lakes. So what can you do to help? A new campaign by the city's watershed department called Let's Can It, Austin shows us how you can help.
So here's how you do it, folks.
Thanks, dude.
This event today is extremely important. We're finally getting a good word out to everybody about how trash migrates throughout the city. People need to understand that, what you throw out miles from this lake eventually end up in this lake by traveling the watersheds in your areas. Annually, my crews are on the lake 40 hours a week, every week. Our annual goal is 200 to 250 tons of material off of this lake, and we reach that with no problem. It's a push to get this promoted and get people out there on the lakes taking care of it. We also are utilizing the volunteer community. And you're mitigating trash that's eventually going to end up here at the lake.
The goals are, I think primarily what we'd like to see is a more concerted effort by our citizens to actually put your trash in the trash can or to recycle those items that you can recycle. And I think too, our lake is really utilized, it's used a lot, and one of the it's a huge benefit for the city, but one of the drawbacks is that the more use there is, the more debris and trash that we have. So really just trying to make a connection between those two. I think that the talking trash can is like something I think is going to add a whole new dimension to, I think, your experience at the lake.
Throw that trash in the can, please, if you would. Just remember that your trash, no matter where you are in the city, eventually ends up here at the lake. And do your part, help out.
You just got caught doing a good deed.
For more information, please visit letscanitaustin.org. The City of Austin recently held the annual National Night Out event. City officials, along with law enforcement agencies and Austin residents, came together to take a stand against crime.
What's going on here is one of many events throughout the city of Texas, National Night Out. It's a night where we get to see our neighbors, visit our friends, and where we get at this kickoff to really teach people about public safety and a lot of the programs that are available to keep families safe in their neighborhoods and their homes. And the city of Austin knows how to do it right. Travis County knows how to do it right. And it's one of my favorite times of the year because we get to visit with a lot of good people.
This is a wonderful time. National Night Out is a very exciting time of the year. It's a time where all of Austin takes the time out to truly be a community, to come together and recognize and embrace all the commonalities that we have, and to really to take a break from crime, and to recognize that we need to come together as a community, to be vocal, to be visible, in order to make it a safe environment for our kids and to raise our families. And it's just a tremendous time. We have all the city services out here. We have music, we have kids, we have entertainment. It's a fabulous time.
I think anytime that the people are able to come out in a setting like this, they're going to meet somebody different.
My name's Mark.
They're going to put a name to to a badge or to a Starflight pilot. Folks are really interested in what we do, and it's kind of nice to see them in a setting like this. You know, as opposed to actually if we go out on a call, it's more of a dramatic event, whereas this is, you know, more of, you know, get to meet people and, you know, realize that there's a face behind the helmets and all the rest of this.
The vast majority of protection that neighborhoods get, that citizens get, is offered by other citizens, by their neighbors, by people looking out for each other. And that's why this is really such an important event, because this is the one night when everybody comes out. We have hundreds of groups meeting all over the city tonight, meeting their neighbors, getting to know each other, getting to know their habits, getting a sense for how they can work together to keep each other safe. That's what's going to keep us safe in the long run, is going to be each other. And I'm thrilled. This is the best night out I've seen in Austin.
And you can see there how the event helps generate support for anti-crime programs while strengthening neighborhood spirit. And strengthening an understanding of City of Austin operations is what AustinCorps is all about. AustinCorps is an initiative of the mayor and the city manager to provide area high school students with a hands-on educational experience focused on local government. The first class has 30 high school seniors from Crockett and Aikens high schools. They attended their first class at the Homeland Security and Emergency Management Office, where they participated in a mock weather-related emergency situation with city staff.
I think we have a program put together for you that you'll enjoy. It'll give you a chance to interact with one another, with our staff, and also get an idea of what we do. And I want to welcome you to the Austin-Travis County Emergency Operations Center.
Any big emergency that takes place in the city of Austin or within Travis County is managed from a strategic perspective from this location. The children learn about the federal government, the state government, but they don't learn a lot about the city government. So they're having an opportunity today to learn more about how city government works. I'd like to introduce you, Troy Kimball.
National Weather Service now out of Austin, San Antonio. I will let you know effective this afternoon, the 19th day of December, has issued a winter storm warning. It goes into effect tomorrow afternoon. I will tell you this, my confidence, and what I've told Otis is my confidence, Otis, in this situation tomorrow is very high. Okay? Y'all's turn.
In the current scenario, you should actually be coming up with questions more than answers, and then when we move on to the next scenario, you can maybe communicate with the other individuals and some of the other groups to try to make the best decision.
This will give them an opportunity to see that critical thinking is important.
Giving more calls out there to the news that what's happening so people don't get scared.
Possibly get kids dropped off at their homes instead of like one stop, because having kids walk home might be dangerous.
When you make a decision, it affects someone and it affects their livelihood and what's going on.
We want to prevent these accidents from happening.
What is a result of asking more people to work?
We'd have to pay overtime.
Discuss it amongst your group and then come up with some answers.
And who are you going to work with to make sure that all those funds are allocated appropriately?
I'd have to work with my city manager to make sure that we have the funds in one of our rainy day funds or something to be able to get the funds where they need to be.
These questions that they answer back here sometimes do not come easy in the Emergency Operations Center.
Because you have to try to think through the process to make sure that you see what is going to take place and then what's going to be the reaction to it.
My understanding is you acted as the mayor today in this situation. Tell me what you learned today by going through this scenario.
Yes, sir. We learned a little bit of hands-on experience of how things are done in the EOC. We learned how each role is important to making sure that the safety of Austin citizens is key.
AustinCorps will continue through November, and the students will spend approximately 200 hours over the fall semester with more than 30 city departments. Who knows, maybe a future mayor in that class. Well, that's all for this edition of CityView. I'm your host, Renee Tejas. Join us again for our next episode, which premieres Friday, October 22nd. Thanks for watching.